thank you for staying with us to continue with our second session for today. Okay, so brief introduction on our next speaker. Okay, he has over 15 years of experience in cybersecurity solutions and IT architecture. Currently, he is the security consultant for ForcePoint, which is one of the major players in the cybersecurity that focuses on human behavior and intent, with the goal of helping their clients to be protected from modern threats, such as well as solving critical security issues. So, without further ado, please give a big hand to Mr. Ganesh Vikram with his paper entitled Human-Centric Cybersecurity.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. I think you guys hopefully had a good lunch. So this afternoon I just want to share with you a little bit about the cybersecurity. I think earlier presentation you probably had a lot of things about ransomware, attacks. So I'll share a little bit slightly different today, more looking at user, looking at data. So before I start, I just want to give you a bit of background. I think ForcePoint itself is a brand new name. I've been in the market for about 3 years now. ForcePoint is not an old company. I mean, it's not a new company. We actually owned by a company called Raytheon. So Raytheon actually is the largest private defense contractor in the US. They actually have one cybersecurity arm, which is the cybersecurity division, so which acquired a company called Awam about 2 years ago. But the mission is basically to go to the commercial market to sell some of the defense-grade technology. So in the past, they only sold the government, the agencies, the US government, FBI, CIA. I think when you start about 2 years ago, they wanted to sell the solution outside the US market. So some of the technology I will share later, but essentially what we're trying to do is to share the intelligence, how we use this intelligence to analyze user behavior. All right? Just to give you a background in terms of ForcePoint portfolio, I think we have a couple of solutions within our product portfolio. I think one of the legacy brand, if you're familiar with websites, we are actually a leader in web, email, and ERP solution. We also have some of the Raytheon insider domain product analytics. We also have what we call CASB, stands for Cloud Access Security Broker. Essentially, these are useful for customers who are actually migrating or use any form of cloud solution, for example, Office 365, AWS, Azure. Alright, and we also have what we call a Stormsoft Next-Gen Firewall. So this is actually an acquisition we took from McAfee about 3 years ago. So we acquired the entire firewall business. So today we actually do a bit of a Next-Gen Firewall. And the last part of the product portfolio we call UEBA. So that's the most interesting technology that we have today. It stands for User Entity Behavior Analytics. Alright, so what essentially it does basically to look at a pattern of user pattern, essentially that it use the product to do enforcement. Alright. Okay, so let's look at the landscape today. Alright, so I think earlier some representatives shared some of the landscape in terms of how the market is running. So today when we talk about there are three elements that they say. One is users. So when we look at the users, now users are pretty much mobile. They can be working from office, they can be working from somewhere else, like for example, I'm sure some of you guys are checking the email here. Alright. We also get a bit more complicated where we have an environment whereby a partner or a supply chain accessing to a network. We also have customers that we're using to accessing your network. And the challenge gets a bit more complicated when the user actually accessing the data that are located pretty much everywhere. We talk about cloud, we're seeing now emails in the cloud. You can access whether the corporate server or the email using corporate parameter. And one of the biggest challenges basically is to monitor what the user is accessing over the network. Alright? And let's discuss some of the challenges that we see today. Alright? There are 4 big challenges that we have seen in the market today. So one of the biggest challenges we see business transformation. I think the part we're seeing a lot of actually user being more mobile. So today we are seeing users actually using their personal devices, their own devices to access corporate email. Alright, so it's no longer those days where you have a corporate email, corporate laptop, just access email using a VPN. So today it's pretty much data is everywhere. Alright? And we are seeing a very large number of customers actually transforming to cloud infrastructure. Alright, that is pretty much, I think, about 2 years ago when I talked to the customer, talk about cloud, they say no. But today, if I talk to the cloud, almost 50% of the customers are already in cloud, and half of it are migrating to cloud soon. In fact, I think some of the customers in ASEAN, I know one of the government within the ASEAN region are already moving their email to 365. So it's just a matter of time because before any type of industry actually moving to cloud. We are seeing banks as well. They're actually moving to cloud infrastructure because of the mobility. Alright. We are seeing a lot of changes within the cloud. So how exactly we going to adopt some of the changes? I think earlier, during this morning, I think there are some of the points that has been shared earlier with regards to the workforce. Alright, we are seeing very limited resources or skills that are available within the market to address some of the security gap. I think there's also a lack of a budget in the sense that we are seeing a lot of trucks coming in, but when we talk to the customer, they only have the same budget or lesser. There's no customer I spoke to you in the last 2 years, they have more budget invested in cybersecurity. Alright? And then we are seeing earlier, I think during the first part of the presentation, most of the speakers talk about some of the cybercrime, how the APT takes place, how the malware takes place. So it's almost inevitable to say that that today they are not compromised. It's just a matter of time, a matter of how the compromise takes place. And we are seeing increasingly very sophisticated attack. Alright, those days when you say attack, it presents a lot of stuff, but today it's very phishing, very targeted. Target certain person, they are a very specific email, and basically just to attack the penetrate the network. I think I will echo to some representatives shared earlier. Basically, it's just to take down the whole network. You just have to find one mission. Alright, that's how easily it's penetrate the entire network. Alright. We are seeing quite a bit in terms of regulatory and also compliance. I think some of the region within the ASEAN region are beefing up their actually in terms of how breach being handled, how the company should mitigate this particular risk when the breach happen. We are also seeing some of the consumer rights. So basically, we are seeing some rights in Malaysian PDPA where consumers want to know how the vendors or how the organization is using the information for commercial purposes. All right, and we are also seeing some of the such as code as well. Okay, so having challenges that we mentioned earlier, so what enforcement we're trying to do is basically to look at the intersection between the people and the data. Alright, so the idea here is basically to understand the user's intent and how they're actually using, what's the purpose of the using the particular data. For example, is it intentional, unintentional, whether the particular reason is malicious or accidental. So this is where we're trying to understand when people access the data, what's the intention, right? And what we're trying to solve here within first point as well is how do we protect the information? I think these are the biggest questions when we talk to the customer, how do we protect the data without first is to frustrate the user. There's a lot of solutions in place today to be very rigid. And so rigid basically they will block the user, for example. So how do you do the work? For example, I'm going to share my slide to someone else. So you have to copy the file to USB. So that doesn't stop. So how do you kind of have a flexibility in that sense, right? And how do we protect the data without overwhelming the administrator? So I know some customers using some solution in place basically generate thousands of incidents. Right? That actually overwhelms the administrator because they don't know what to look for. What exactly the specific incident they should look, and they should actually react or mitigate. When you have 10,000 incidents, it's almost impossible to look which incident that basically is the most important. And how exactly the current solution be able to detect, for example, if you are a malicious user or you're the actual user. So for example, if someone copying a lot of file, are they actually doing work, or someone actually stole your account, stealing the information? So how do you differentiate that? So that's the part, there's a lot of challenges in the current solution where you cannot be able to distinguish whether the user intentionally copy a file or unintentionally. So this is the problem we have. So having said that, in Postpoint we have a new innovation, which is we started this year, whereby we call human-centric cybersecurity. So essentially what we're trying to do here is we're trying to understand the people's behavior, your users' behavior, and the flow of the data. So having that basically is we are able to show you visibility in terms of what the user is trying to do, what is the intention. Because the key point here, if you don't have the visibility, then you wouldn't have the control. How do you control something that you can't see? Alright? And at the same time, how do we create awareness to the user? How do we enable the user? Alright, it's called user accidentally copy certain file, too much of file. For example, there's a policy in place that you shouldn't be copying out of file. How do we create awareness without frustrating them? Right? And of course, the most important part about all the system is how do we provide real-time detection? Because there are a lot of solutions in the market basically can give you some form of visibility, which is good, but they are lacking with the real-time detection. Basically, 3 days later, you know, a leak happened. Someone copied 100 files. Alright, what happened is how do we protect it in real time? So these are the missing pieces. So let's try to understand what exactly we're trying to do here. So, like, for example, when you look at the user, you look at the picture, everybody looks normal. But when you try to break it down in terms of categories, there are a few categories here. For example, the R category called accidental insider, whereby there are some users basically policy are not communicated properly, alright, where the user is not aware and basically just copying out a file. They also have a broken business process. For example, I know some companies don't allow you to copy sensitive file to USB or copy a sensitive file to your Google Drive. But users still do it. Alright, users still do it, but how do you stop that? And then we have a next stage where we have a compromise insider. There are stages whereby there's a malware infection. For example, earlier, you know, we've seen a live demo whereby machine can be easily hacked over a document. So when malware infected, it starts stealing our data. Alright? And they are part of stolen credential, whereby sometimes you're not aware the credential is stolen. People are actually using your credential to access a specific intellectual property or documents. Right? And the next stage, pretty much, I think, is the most severe, whereby we have malicious insider. And if you read a lot of reports lately, I think the malicious insider percentage have gone up a bit, whereby you're seeing people that leaving the company, taking a lot of confidential information with them, right? Whether for a good reason or for a bad reason. And we're also seeing some of the criminal actors, people actually work for certain companies just to steal information. Not just part of the region, I see a lot, but in the US, it happens a lot with big companies, like we're talking about Boeing. Recently, there's an article, someone actually worked for Boeing for 2 years just to steal some private information. So this is happening. How do you stop that? Alright, so these are things happening in the real world. So when we look at the solution, there are a few solutions in the market today. One we call the traditional DEBA, the user entity behavior analytic, whereby what happened just doesn't help you to stop certain things. Alright, so these are the things, some of the solutions only give you visibility. What's beyond the visibility? How do you protect that? Alright, and then we have a solution called insider track, whereby it monitors users very closely, just to give you kind of idea like CCTV. I put a CCTV in front of you, I just record everything. But the bigger challenge is how do you balance between privacy and monitoring the user? Because there are a lot of big challenges. If I go to certain personal site, are you going to monitor that as well? Alright, so that's a bigger challenge. We have that. And we also have a traditional DRB, data prevention system, whereby the policy are a bit more rigid. For example, if you have a policy that says that you cannot copy anything, content confidential, or sensitive, or rahasia besar, from the keyword use. How do you stop that? Because in the policy, either you block or allow. What if the person who allowed to copy doesn't copy too much? How do you stop that? Right? And this is where we want to come to a picture whereby a solution should cut through the noise, able to understand the user intention, and essentially to provide a policy based on their behavior. Okay? Let's look at this adaptive approach, how exactly we do that. I think the first part is basically the ability to do inspection. So inspection basically is to look at the data where the user, regardless the user is in the cloud, it's on the road, or everywhere. We're actually able to analyze any form of architecture, for example, on-prem or cloud or anywhere. Alright? And the part that is very important is basically we need to contextualize and understand what the user is trying to do. Who are the user? Why are they accessing the private data? Is this the employee, or is it a partner, or is it just some, someone trying to hack into your private account? Alright? And the interesting part of the whole system is basically the ability to apply a risk score. This is what we are trying to differentiate ourselves. Alright? And I see certain patterns, certain behavior, then I can apply a risk. And I can tell to the user, look, this guy, Mr. A, is suspicious and he's at fault because he has an action and perform. Imagine if I can see a more risk-based scoring, then I can evaluate the risk. Because if I just say a person just copy a file, doesn't mean anything. But if I can just put your risk based on this pattern, for example, let's look after 30 days, what is the behavior? And based on that, we can give you a risk scoring of pattern and volumetric. And basically, based on that, you can tell how it's skewed. Okay? And essentially, the most important part, I think, today, what we're trying to do is, most solutions maybe can give you some form of visibility, but how do you enforce it? Alright, so this is the part that's missing component in most solutions today that we're trying to solve, basically to apply enforcement. When you say enforcement are not limited as a baseline. For example, today if I see people copying too much file, can I apply a policy for everybody or just individual user? Because most of the system basically what it does is apply globally. It means if someone copy a file, just copy everything. But what we can do today is we can dynamically apply a policy based on the user, the specific user. Alright? And of course, there are parts where we can do orchestration. For example, you can have a case management to investigate. This allows the administrator to understand what exactly transpired to the particular attack. For example, if someone copied too much power, what is the behavior, what drives them. So it kind of helps in a sense to understand what exactly the user intention. Alright. So starting this year, we actually introduced a new innovation we call dynamic data protection. So this is a part of the bigger picture that we're talking human cybersecurity. This is actually the first one in the market we have the ability to do automation. So what exactly this means is today our solution will be able to calculate user behavior, the risk, and we can apply a policy or automation to block certain activities based on the risk. So these are very powerful today because we're just not showing any visibility, but actually can apply policy automation in terms of enforcement to mitigate the risk on the fly without requiring a human to actually interact with the system. So when we look at it, basically the risks are driven by user. It's not by administrator or by the system. Alright, so today if I copy two files, that's normal. But what happens tomorrow, I start copying 100 files. Now my risk jumps up. Alright, and when my risk jumps up, what happens basically the system will tell me that your risk just elevated from low profile to medium profile. Alright, and suddenly 2 in the morning, what I do, I took all the sensitive file, put my own Dropbox. That risk elevated to 5. So now what happens is, you wait until morning, someone comes into the office and look at the logs and tell me, hey, this guy copying too much of file yesterday night. That's today. Right, but I have all the files, you copy. So what if I tell you that the system will be able to apply a policy on the fly, the moment someone tries to copy out a file, we'll just copy it. Alright, so these are basically what the behavior actually reduces the risk lower, the system actually allows that. So those are basically the degree of flexibility in that sense, and it's driven by the user behavior. Alright. Today, the first integration we have in our product portfolio is basically the UBA with our DRP solution. So historically, what I mentioned earlier, DRP is pretty much a solution whereby driven by policy. So when you have a policy in place, for example, either to block or to allow, so that's pretty much how it looks, very based on the content. But with the UEBA today, for example, if you have a privileged user or certain user who are able to access to certain confidential file, but the UBA see there's a pattern of this particular user copying too much of file, his risk is just elevated. So what you can do basically is I can apply a policy to the user on the fly. Alright, depending on his behavior, for example, if he's like doing too much, basically we just can block or quarantine certain file on the fly as well. Alright, this is very important when we have the analytics part of the solution. So from the analytic perspective, basically what we do is the data sources not just from our own solution, we can integrate with your existing solution. For example, if you have SRE, you have antivirus, if you have a firewall, if you have a proxy, it's not limited to our own product, so you can receive sources from any form of logs. We also support some of the unstructured data. So, for example, email, chat messages, alright, the voice over IP, so any form of data that actually readable format, you can accept that. Basically, from an analytic perspective, the more data we have, the better analytics we can do. Alright? And from the analytics perspective, basically what we do is we have a built-in data modeling. That means basically some of the built-in data modeling to able to analyze this kind of activity. For example, someone copying too much of file, someone actually sending file after working hour. So these are the analytics that are actually built in. And essentially what we do is we apply the risk scoring based on these activities, on this behavior. Alright? And what we do in the end basically is enforcement. Basically we actually use our enforcement endpoint solution to do effective enforcement. Just to give you an idea, alright, so how the enforcement looks like is this is some basic policies we have today, whereby if you look at our DRP today, our DRP solution, we don't enforce policy based on the content anymore. Which part in the past, for example, someone copies something sensitive, content sensitive information that we just block it. But today, we can do based on risk. So imagine today someone copy a file and basically the low level risk, fine, I will audit without forensic. Alright, this is a simple way. If someone actually copy too much of a file from the normal behavior, so what if the system now can start an alert to the user, hey Mr. User, you should copy a lot of file. Alright, I notify the user. Maybe he's doing work, maybe he's copying too much, it's not aware, but the system actually able to alert. And even if he pass the threshold, start copying too much of file. Maybe it's bleeding soon, you have to copy a lot of file today, and what happens, the system detects the risk just went up because it just looked very suspicious, and the system actually can apply a rule and it blocks everything. So if you look at it, these are not based on the individual policy, or these are driven by the user behavior. Right? The more risky you are to the organization based on the behavior, and these are the global policy you can apply on the solution as well. Okay? So just to give you a bit of more clearer picture, for example, I show you a case whereby a user today, you have a user, for example, a person hit, start copying a lot of file to USB, which you all normally do, right? We like to copy file to USB. So what the system can do, for example, if you're copying a lot of file to your personal drive or to your drive, fine, the system will encrypt the data. Right? So just encryption, for example, if you lost a USB somewhere, someone took the USB, it can't open the file. So it means that you can still open the file, but it's encrypted. Unless you open it up, that's very basic, right? You just want to make sure the file that goes out the network is encrypted. Right? What happened is basically she started copying a file after working hour, which is not normal behavior. She doesn't work after work, she started copying a lot of file after working hour. So what we can do is basically we can capture, maybe do a video capture. For example, audio notify the user, hey, you're copying too much of file, or maybe there's a video recording that we can record the action. For example, you're copying too much of file, do before and after. Alright? And what happened is the person actually started copying this file to the personal Google Drive. Alright, that is just no because we don't allow people actually use a personal drive to copy sensitive file, and the risk just elevated to high. So what's next now? So what happened is basically the UEB analytics stores the DRP. Since the risk is very high, then you just block everything. Alright, so this is without requiring an administrator or analyst just to go in and fix everything. Alright, so these are all our plan. So basically the machine basically blocks all transfer, alright, until the risk level just go down again. Alright, so if you look at it, these are the automation we're trying to do. Okay? So just to summarize in terms like what the solution that I spoke about earlier, so we are actually trying to, we are a DRP vendor for the past 10 years. So we can understand what our customer pain point is because we've been doing it for a long time. I think one of the biggest challenges is basically with DRP solution itself is too many bugs, too many incidents. So it's very hard to manage. It's easy to deploy, but to manage basically to understand what the user wants. Because sometimes I have a customer who blocked any personal information, IC number for example. And when you try to go to Asia, book your own ticket or national line, you got blocked because now I'm looking up, I'm using my own IC number to book my flight. So because the system is blocking it, so it's kind of frustrating to use it. So it's become very challenging to use a DRP. So today, we kind of give intelligence to the DRP because of the analytics. So I allow you to use a private IC number to do whatever you want. But the moment the detects this kind of abnormally behavior, then you can apply different type of policy. Alright? We also believe by doing this, we can increase productivity because you won't have a rigid policy. For example, either to block or to allow. You can have some flexibility. And what happens if the risk went up? Don't worry, the automation will happen at the background. The system will enforce whatever the basic rule will have. Alright? And of course, the detection and response, I think we spoke about it in the earlier presentation about the So this is where we can actually have a real-time detection depending on the user. For example, if you see some of the leakages happen, basically we can respond a lot faster. Okay. So with that, I think we have a booth outside. If you need more information about the solution, if you need more details, please feel free to look for me outside. All right. But for now, I will take any questions. I have about 5 minutes, I think. Anybody have questions? Because I think I didn't have a question, but any questions in place? Please feel free to look for me outside. All right, we have a speaker available as well. With that, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ganesh, for sharing. Okay, without delaying any further, let me introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker brings with him over 25 years of IT experience, with more than 18 years of those focused in IT security. He is a passionate practitioner of cybersecurity, whereas he personally runs a cybersecurity threat and incident notification broadcast to more than 110 CIOs as well as CISOs since 2015. Okay. Currently, he is the CEO for the Next Technology, the cybersecurity arm for a huge local group of companies, Dagang Exchange Berhad. Okay, so please welcome one of our regular speakers, Mr. Rodney Lee, with his paper entitled "Securing Digital Innovations Through Blockchain." Okay. Please.
Good afternoon. We meet again. My name is Rodney, for those of you who haven't known me before. Before I start, I want to congratulate all of you. Alright? Say to the neighbor beside you, congratulations. Come on, do that. I mean, it's after lunch, after 35 minutes of it's time to loosen up. Just say congratulations and I'll tell you why you need to congratulate the next person. Thank you. Because you're in the right place. Alright, today, basically, very, very soon, I guarantee you, people will look at the cybersecurity people and they will have a lot of questions to ask you because you're in the right place. There's been so much of shortage in cybersecurity. There's been so much problem in IT world that the cybersecurity people are being treated slowly as gods. Because you guys are protecting all their assets. Alright? So is it okay to say congratulations to your neighbor? Yeah. Go and say it one more time. I've been here so often, sometimes. So I'm just going to give you some updates as well as one of the things that for those of you who don't know me, we are from a group that does, I congratulate you that the government is looking at 20% for all of the entire state. Right? We are also in oil and gas. One of our pillars is actually oil and gas. We are currently drilling petroleum in Scotland, in the North Sea. I think we are hitting about 12,000 barrels a day. So, quite a lot of money to make there. So, I think very good. Don't worry about that, that's virus protection. And no, I don't know what is this. This is my staff's computer. Alright, since the CISO Summit last year, 2017, the things that I have done, basically we have signed up to be one of the licensee holder for EC Council. And I've spoken in an ISACA event, I've spoken in a CQuiz event. And I've written an article that was published by the Star. And also the last thing is I was very honored. Next Technology has been voted as the top 25 companies in Asia Pacific. Alright, so this is what happened over the last 1 year. Very excited. as the year carries through to the end, this is my team now. When I first took over DNX Technology, we had 6 people. Today we have 13. Right? I've been here for 2 years plus already. We have started to enhance our cybersecurity team. The orange boxes, the center boxes that you see, that's a new team, and that belongs to Easy Council Global Services Malaysia. I have also started a new team that does threat hunting and forensics, which we used to ask someone else to do today. So if you want to run a SOC today, basically on the left hand side or on the right hand side, the light blue color is what are the people that you should be having. Alright? If you want to run a security operation that has professional services and all that, then you add in the orange color one. The other side, the light green, yang hijau tu tak payah. That one sales. Okay? You guys don't need to have things. Alright? But generally, running a security operations or an organization, that's what we do. And I believe JPKN is very much like security operations, especially for the state. And later, towards the end, I will recommend you guys to do one thing, right? Which is what GDPR people are asking you to do. We are also part of a global group called Easy Council Global. We are the ones that actually train the Pentagon in the United States. We are the official trainer for all the Pentagon people, the Department of Defense. Those people you see on television, FBI, CIA, CID and all that, those are the people that are being trained by the Easy Council Group. Right? We are official trainers. In fact, as we are speaking today, we have 28 people that is being trained to be certified CISO in Malaysia. Alright, 28 of them, today is the last day of the training. Tomorrow they'll be taking the exam and they will be called certified CISO, part of the 200 over people worldwide that belongs to a very niche group. DNX Technology has gone to be CREST certified. We can't run away from it because we were doing some projects for some Singapore company and they insist that we must be CREST certified. Alright, I have a document that I from some friends that has 66 pages of guidelines which Bank Negara is going to be launching next year. Right. So cannot see it. Right. So these 66 pages are very funny. You know, they have been throwing in guidelines after guidelines after guidelines to all the banks, and for the last 12 years, they have added so many guidelines, one on top of another. Finally, they say, okay, yang ni, they call RMIT, will be replacing everything else that has been issued before. So there will be one single guideline. So expect that to come. Right? And one of the lines in the guideline says, the CISO must be appropriately certified. So those of you who are holding the CISO position, the Certified Information Security, the Chief Information Security Officer position, those in charge of cybersecurity, soon you'll be requested to be appropriately certified. Alright? So be careful. Start taking up your books and your reading glasses. Alright? This is the magazine that called us as the top 25 feedback. I had to go and bring a chair and sit somewhere so that they can take a photo because I don't have any photo to show. So they went through. We were part of companies like Palo Alto and a few others, international companies, and they chose us to be one of the top 25. So, very quickly, securing digital innovations or initiatives, where do we begin? Alright, I always am very proud to be associated with you guys because the way you run your organization, the way you want the organization to push other agencies to be cyber secure is a very good initiative. Alright, I applaud DATUK Group for doing all these things together with you guys. And non-stop, I've been here, what, 7 times, 6 years? You guys keep doing this over and over again, you know. It's not about starting a session like this and wanting to start it, but it's about carrying on for so many years and continuously having a full house like this, you know, without fail. Or maybe because tied to bonus, kalau tak datang tak ada bonus. Okay, but fantastic, right? I applaud you guys for doing something like this. This is a slide that I used previously. I want to remind each one of us that just like Facebook, 10 years ago, I told my friend, I will never sign up for Facebook. I will never ever sign up in Facebook because I don't believe Facebook is going to help me to do anything. Today, I've got almost 12,000 friends. Alright. I'm telling you, when digital pushes you to do certain things, the world will move so fast that you cannot stop. You just have to carry on and you just have to be a part of it. Alright? There's nothing you can do but to move along with it. And digital transformation is something that is going to come whether you like it or not, whether you know what control alternate delete means, it doesn't matter, it will come and it will overwhelm you. And the one secret, the one problem that many organizations I've seen fail is because of jumping in without getting prepared. It's like going to the pool outside there, you know. And you just want to have a good swim and you just jump in without changing into your appropriate dressing. And you get back all over. And that's what's going to happen if you go in without getting prepared. Right? Because the moment you start digitalization or moving towards digital innovation, it not only brings new way of doing things, it actually creates new vulnerabilities. Because the moment we were just discussing over lunch just now, alright? Many of us, I had a video that I was looking at yesterday. This guy was having a problem because there was an earthquake, and but before that he used payment on everything with his mobile. Alright, he pays his bills using his mobile. He even uses WeChat to make payment for food and groceries and everything. There was one particular day, there was a big earthquake and the power station got hit. Alright, and there was a sudden darkness that swept through the entire city and there was no power. So he went out and said, oh my gosh, check the fridge, there's no food there. So he went out to do his grocery. He took an entire load of in the trolley and then he went for payment. He took out his phone, 64% battery, and he wanted to pay. And then the counter said, bang, tak boleh lah, tak ada power. Digitalization is going to create such an issue whether you like it or not. But the problem is, there will be different problems that will come. Alright? Because there's so much to do and so much to cover, the visibility will become lesser. You will have to do so much more than you did previously. I still remember when I was in charge of a company, of all the IT, we call ourselves head of IT. All I need to do is to make sure that the 60 units of computer can be switched on in the morning, and the printer can be printing when the request is, and then the telex machine must be moving, alright, and the fax machine must be able to churn out fax. It is such. That's head of IT in 1986. Today, if you're head of IT, habis you. Everything is you. Everything that has an IP address is you. Including the phone, including the photostat machine, sometimes including even the coffee maker. You don't believe me. If you have an IP to the coffee maker, you'll be in charge. Whether you like it or not. Right? Suddenly, Daniel will get a call. Hey, how come I cannot make coffee or coffee? This is the statistics from my cert that I picked up just a few days ago. Look at the chart. We're talking about 2018. This is not year by year, this is month by month. Look at the statistics from January, February, March, April. I didn't do this. My cert did this. Look at the amount of growth in terms of reported incidents. Two things that you can translate from here. Number one, incidents have grown, definitely. Alright. Number two, which is very important, the people have realized that there is a need to report. Previously, CSM always complained, kita tahu ada breach, tapi tak ada orang nak report. Nobody bothered to report. But this type of statistics shows you that people are beginning to realize that reporting a breach is a very, very important thing. Alright? But the growth of the incidents is tremendous. As an organization that takes care of IT security for the state, you must know what are the stakeholders' problems. what are the various industries' problems? What are the problems that they are facing today? Where are the problem areas? Right? If you talk about banking, frankly speaking, they are on their own. They can stand on their own. The Malay word says berdiri di atas kaki sendiri, berdikari. Right? They can stand on their own. Transport, logistics, industrial manufacturing, aerospace. Aerospace is still okay. Government and hospitality, these are the areas that needs to be looked into. And as a state representative, you cannot just defend yourself. You need to look at what are the needs in the industry as well. And when you go into digitalization or digital innovations, then you have to remember that these are your responsibilities. These are the things that you need to look into. Not just virus, malware, and things like that. Alright? And you need to be very sure that you can see what they want to see. This is something that happened in 2011. Alright? A good old guys used to say, stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient paths. Alright? Look at what somebody else experienced before and learn from it. Right? This is exactly what happened to a company that was attacked in March 2011. A company that prides themselves as the driver of IT security in the world. And yet, one weakness in the finance department caused the downfall of this company. Right? I'm not in a position to tell you who. You can Google it, March 2011, and you'll be able to find out who they are. But this is a real case. Alright? If you look through the entire process, it starts from a finance person receiving a junk mail. Alright? Dah lah cakap junk mail, jangan lah buka kan? Still want to open. You know, sometimes our exchange server is very smart. It throws some of this junk into the junk mail folder. Tapi kita kata, we double click on the junk mail, apa dekat dalam junk mail ni? And then we restore balik, kita buka. That's the problem. Alright? So another issue that you'll be thinking about right now will be how aware are the users. You guys are all experts, it's fine. You won't click. I'm not talking about you, you know. I know you all won't click all those junk mail things. Not you. But what about the admin guy? Now kalau the cleaner, dia pun ada iPad tau, jangan main. They also got email address. So have we told them or not about all these things? Right? So when you go into digital transformation or innovations, these are areas that you need to think about. I like this slide very much because when I talk about ancient ways, actually from the beginning of computer hacking and forensics, this has already happened. The days when I started in IT security, back in 2001, and then supposedly when the hacking begins, 2006, 2007, this has been the attack queue chain, and it has not changed at all. Every attack, serious targeted attack, is formed by this queue chain. Right? Why aren't we learning how to deal with it? That is the question. We already know. Alright? I'm a very Chinaman person, you know. When I get sick, I don't really go to the clinic and see doctor. I like ubat traditional, you know. So what I do is, I always, like for example, if I got a sore throat, I will eat some Chinese medicine, the Chinese herbs, drink the Chinese herb drinks and all that. And then you bring down the temperature because I believe it's because of the rising of temperature in the body system and other. So these are the ancient ways. Right? We know and we know and we know. We look at the dark clouds coming, blowing the wind towards our direction, we know a rain is coming. Alright? How come we are not learning from the ancient ways as far as cybersecurity is concerned? I'm going to go in one by one, right? The 5 steps here. The first one. What the hacker, what the bad guy always does is, they will always do a research on who they want to attack. Alright? They will always do that. But the question is, when they do that, do you have the capacity to isolate and identify the scanning activities? It will always be like that. They will have to scan you, they will have to research, they will have to recon you, so that they will know where the weaknesses are. That's how they start their attacks. My Security Operations Center receives almost 60 to 70 alerts every day about scanning. Many of the organizations that we look after, they don't even care about scanning because to them it's no use. But I remember the same example I gave many of you a couple of years back. My neighbor actually told me that there were 2 motorbikes that was going around my house. I just pushed it aside. I didn't bother much. But subsequently after that, I got 2 robberies in my house in a span of 3 months. They came in, they took everything. Right? And they came in at about 8 plus. Immediately after, I took my family out for dinner. I went out about 8 o'clock. I came back at 10. Dia sudah semua sakit. Can they do a job like that within 2 hours? Yes, if they have done research. If they have done reconnaissance. They know what time I'm going to go out. They roughly know I'll be coming back in 2 hours. And that's what they do. So in every attack, it always starts with this. Alright? And it's very important to be able to identify the scanning activities, even though it's just scanning. Alright? Second one is, after they scan, they will find a way to infiltrate. This is the part where they go to the finance people. Because the finance people do not know what it means by phishing. You tell them about phishing, they bring their worms. And hope. Alright? So you guys have to educate. This is the part where they attack the weakest point. And in every organization, there is always that one finance or one admin person that is going to be the weak link. I don't know why, but I'm sorry if you're in finance, you are always the target. They are always sending it to the finance team. But that's the weak link. Right? Phishing has become so... this is one of the biggest attacks that we can. Educating the people is an important thing, especially those who are not in IT. You need to tell them their language. Don't bring the finance manager to a corner and say, you need to be very careful about the internet protocol, the TCP/IP stretch the world. They're not going to bother about all those things, right? You just have to let them know what are the things that they should or should not be doing. The training or the awareness is very, very important. Don't talk your language. I teach children in my church, and when I talk to the children, I always do this. I come up to their level to talk to them. Alright? And that's exactly what you need to do. When you talk to the finance team, you got to talk to them in their lingo and educate them. Not in yours, they won't understand. Alright? Don't talk about IDS, they don't know what is it. What IPS? Apa tu IPS? So nobody will understand. Alright? You got to talk your language. Alright? The next one is discovery. Alright? The moment they are in, once they infiltrated your network, they will start to discover your network. And the attack will not be just one, because they only need an entry point. And then they will sweep through the entire network and discover where your golden eggs are. Where are the important data? What are the things that they can pick up and they can hold you ransom? Or what are the data they can pick up and use? Alright? Now, over the last few months, there's been so much of attack in hospitals, hotels, retail chains. These are the 3 areas that's very easy to attack. But somebody say, no, it's okay lah. They attack Kentucky Fried Chicken, what can they do? They only know the recipe. But they have got a lot of information. They attack the hospital, what can they get? Okay lah. Lee Hsien Loong came and checked his kidney last year, so what? But those are the information that they want. Because why? When they start to piece by piece gather the information from different sectors, they will be able to form the entire jigsaw puzzle. And that's when they will know exactly what emails to send to you that you will click. Some of us are into EPL. I don't want to watch EPL anymore because my team has got to position number 11 now. Yeah, you know that. I refuse to watch anymore. But I'm interested. If they send me a mail and say, Mourinho is going to resign, I will be interested to click. Who's going to replace him? If Zidane going to come in, I will be interested. But if that phishing email comes to my mailbox and I click, and that's it. But they need to study me. Remember research. They need to study me. What will interest me? And they will come. Alright? And that's what they're going to do. Alright? So, knowing oneself, knowing the viruses and all that is very important. This is a slide I want to enhance and show you. When you know them, when you understand them, then you can stop them. Alright, you need to understand what is a virus, what is a spyware, what is a bot, what is a ransomware, how do you detect them, what are the things that they use, and how to do prevention. These are languages that you can speak among yourselves, but the finance guy will never understand. But this is something that you need to know, so that you'll be able to go in and do the necessary. No, I was at an organization. He called me, in fact this happened just 2-3 days ago. He called me at about 11 p.m. He said, Ronnie, we've been hit by ransomware. I said, oh, okay. In my heart I said, good. Because we are a security services company. But then he says, Trend Micro people is here. They were here just now. So I asked him, what AV do you use? And he said, yeah, this Trend Micro banana. I said, no. Before you say anything, I said, it's got nothing to do with the antivirus, because I'm very sure they would have disabled your antivirus. Then he said, yeah, well, how did you know? Did you know that the virus can come in and disable your antivirus? If you don't know, please write it down. AV can be disabled. Because it actually did. And I told him, I said, talk to your AV vendor, talk to them about increasing, upgrading to a different module, add on this certain module, blah, 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 blah. And then you have to do a cleanup and everything. Now, many people misunderstand that when they carry an AV in their laptop, they become Superman. No, I'm sorry. These viruses that you see, this spyware and malware, they are kryptonite. Alright? So you cannot survive just by being Superman. The next one will be capturing the data. Once they are able to discover, they will be able to capture those information. Alright? And then they will start to release it and send it back. How do they capture the data? Then the question is, how do you protect your target assets, your golden eggs? In the first place, do you know where those data are? When a breach happens, what is the first place you go to? This brings me to a question that somebody threw to me before. If there's a fire and you're locked inside a room, there's only one exit. Alright? The fireman is shouting outside and saying, hey, you're going to come out quickly before the whole ceiling will collapse. Then you've got two hands. You can only take two things with you. What are the two things that you will be taking? No time for decision making. You look, grab, run. That's all. So in the first place, in the same way, when you look at a breach like this, when you realize, do you know where the data is? Let's say if you're in charge of, transportation. What's important to a transportation organization? I wouldn't know. You guys will know. Right? Of course, if it's a bank, then I know. Right? But what is important, say, katakan you are in charge of forestry. What is important to the forestry ministry? You must know. And you must protect those areas of importance. If you cannot, or you don't know where the data that you need to protect is, something is wrong. You need to think, where are those information that is important to you? Where is it residing? Where is it being stored? How is it being used? How is it being transported? Alright, within the network. Last one. The moment they start getting in the data, they will start to set it out and exfiltrate. Alright. So the question to you is, today, many people are going for data leakage protection, DLP. I have refused 2 companies when they asked us to help them with DLP. I said, I'm not going to do DLP for you because number 1, you forgot step 1, data classification. Without data classification, I'm sorry to say, even Force Point cannot help you. When you want to do DLP, the first thing you need to do is classify the data and make sure you know what data is important, what data is private and confidential, what data is public, what data is solid. Alright? These are the things that is very, very crucial. Alright? I think I'm going to rephrase it. I have not seen a successful DLP implementation in Malaysia that spans more than 3 to 5 years, simply because no one has focused on data classification first. And that's the key thing, right? I need to rush, right? This is one suggestion I would like to suggest to JBKM and also the Sabah state. I know Malaysia doesn't have a reporting or compliance law, alright? But I'm speaking to Datuk Inggu and the rest of you. If Sabah can implement breach report requirement or compliance to the entire agency, I tell you, it will change IT and cybersecurity in Sabah. That means for the government agencies, if there's any breach, you must report within 72 hours to JBKM. You enforce that. You make sure this is happening to you. Alright? Because the thing is, when you report, two things will happen. Number one, you will create an awareness in the organization that's being hit. Number two, it will create some sort of an FAQ or database for people to reference that. Alright? And because you have to do such a report, you will be more careful even in protecting those information. The country is not going to be able to move so fast as to create a law like this. Right? This is GDPR, right? And it has been effected already. Now, potentially, the Facebook breach, which many of you have heard already, have you changed your password, by the way? Dah kan? Lama, ada lagi macam tu. Please, seriously, go and log into Facebook and log out and change your password and log back in. Alright? That's the recommendation by Mark himself. Alright? So, remember, now Facebook tend to lose 16 billion US because of GDPR. They could be fined up to 16 billion US. How many people who's good in maths? 16 billion tu berapa kosong ah? 9 zeros, is it? And it's in US, that means you need to multiply by 4 lagi. That's the possible fine for Facebook for losing the 50 million records. So maybe Datuk Minggu can put a fine kalau reach katakan 200 ringgit lah. I'm telling you, it will make a whole lot of difference if everybody agrees to this requirement. It will bring the entire organization to a totally different level. Alright? I've said this to you, I've shown this to you before. Right? Basically, don't be a guardian of technology. Don't just think about firewalls and IPSs and AVs and all that. Think about being a strategist. Think about being an advisor, especially to the business and the stakeholders. Right? Don't talk about products all the time. Think about what you need to do to bring the business or the organization to a different level of knowledge. That's what the CISO has to do. Right? The CISO cannot be always, if you continue to stay as a guardian of products or technologies, then you will be sitting in the kids' table. You will never migrate into the orang besar punya meja. Alright? You will always sit in the kids' table. You will never get a chance because you're still talking about products. Remember what I said? The board of directors will not understand what is IPS. They will say, can you tell me what is SCIPS? It's going to be like that. But when you talk about being an advisor and being somebody who advises the board, then the whole thing is different. Right? Think about risk monitoring. Think about risk management. The CISO needs to go one level higher. Instead of talking about malware and all that, think about risk. Come from the angle of risk. The moment you start talking about risk and not breach, then you can talk to the board of directors. Then you can talk to the stakeholders because that's their language. Alright? This is what you need to be doing. Talk about risk. People tell me how to monitor risk. Risk is not tangible. Yes, risk is not tangible. But the controls you put into to mitigate the risk is tangible. So monitor the controls and then you monitor the risk. That's the way to do it. Last few slides. Oh, I need a benchmark against best practice. Alright? Don't be fooled to follow the DNext benchmark, no point. Alright? There are a lot of 4-letter company nowadays, 4-letter, 3-letter, 2-letter. You know, don't follow the consultant's benchmark. Follow a benchmark that is accepted worldwide, like the NIST. Use that as your benchmark. Create your own growth path, your measurement. Have measurable targets. Today, I did an assessment and I'm at 1.0 called initial. Alright? I want to be by, let's say 2020, I want to hit security management process as defined. That means 3.0. Set your targets and then put those things in place in terms of asset management, business environment, governance, risk management. Talk about those areas, right? I've got a company who just asked us to do this for them. Insurance company, they are actually at 1.5 between initial and developing, and they said by end of next year they want to be 2.5 minimum between developing and defined. Set your targets. Alright? Measure against those areas, those acceptable worldwide standards. Lastly, this is the last quarter of the year. I hope that when you go for your holidays, you don't have to do this. Alright? Oh, jangan down. You know, so I hope that you guys will enjoy yourself in the holidays. The holidays are coming, but I think Ebenezer is going to like this. Alright. So I wish you all the best, and I'm sorry if I've gone past my time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, Mr. Rodney. I think we can continue on with our Slido session.
First question. What is the future of antivirus and anti-malware against IoT? Because okay, first question. Basically, antivirus will help you to address some of these old viruses that are continuously coming, which is being measured by signatures. So don't be fooled. You still need antivirus in your system. You still need it. Alright? For me, when we talk about endpoint protection, you need to find an endpoint protection solution that will work with your existing antivirus. Either you upgrade your existing antivirus module with new modules that are provided by your antivirus vendor, or if you want to change to a different endpoint protection, then you must make sure that this particular endpoint must be able to work with the antivirus. Many times we have seen clashes where the endpoint detection software clash with the antivirus and hangs your machine. So this is one thing that you need. Very difficult, but moving forward, the IoT manufacturers have already been made known that their systems are easily being attacked. So they are actually, if you Google, they are actually antivirus or endpoint protection that can be installed into IoT devices. I personally have done endpoint protection for point of sale system. Point of sale system is a very close thing, but we call it, I don't know what's that word. We can actually put into a very lightweight into the memory, alright, and it can actually protect. Right? The other way to do it is IoT. You have to make sure that you harden it. That's why I sent out a notification just 2 days ago. I asked the bankers, have you done a penetration test on your ATM machine? Alright? So people don't think that an ATM machine should be pen tested. Sorry, you can. Alright? It's about knowing it, knowing how to do it. And what's AI? What about AI and antivirus? Very difficult question to answer because a lot of vendors behind. I'm a strong believer. Okay, this is personal opinion. Don't follow. Just listen. I believe that artificial intelligence is overstated because when you talk about artificial intelligence, you are depending on a system that man created, and this system has got things like, if I do A plus B equals C, then B equals C minus A. The algorithm has been set. Alright, yes, it has a lot of different things. Alright, why do I say this? I have the privilege of supplying a computer system to a Alright, they actually make software for people to gamble. So I was given 100 credits. I don't supply the software, okay? I only supply the hardware. So I supplied 200 machines, and then they wanted to test the software. So they said, okay, Mr. Lee, can you please test your machine? So they bagi I lah. I said, okay, this is how you run the casino software. Mr. Lee, bagi Mr. Lee 200 credit. So okay lah, ambil 200 credit, main lah dalam komputer tu. Within 30 seconds, semua kalah. Then the guy laughed. I said, okay, I go first. They said, hey, Mr. Lee, finish already. 200 credits so fast. Then I said, yeah, finish already. So all running very fine. He said, no. Then he scolded the programmer. Achong, why you go and tune the software to do what? 0%. I said, what 0%? That means no matter what you do, memang kalah. So they boleh control lah. They automatically change it to 50-50. I said, no lah, give 70-30 lah. So they buat 30-30. I started winning back. So can you imagine, the algorithm is done by a programming that talks about very fixed. I mean, there are various. I'm not against artificial intelligence. I believe 80-20 lah, right? 80% focus on AI, 20% we still depend here. What to do? Make a decision. All right. I hope I answered your question. I hope I didn't put anyone in difficult position. All right. I wish you all the best in the coming quarter. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again, Mr. Robin, and we hope that we can see you again soon with new insights. Okay. So, continuing with our next session, let me just briefly introduce our next speaker. He has over 20 years of experience in information technology, covering areas of infrastructure, cloud platform, identity management, enterprise architecture, business intelligence, IT project management, and IT security. Okay. Currently, he is the manager of cyber security at Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or in short, MDEC, a government-owned institution responsible for the management of the multimedia super corridor in Malaysia as a technology industry and commerce zone. Okay. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Alvin Teo with his paper entitled Developing Cybersecurity Talents for Digital Innovations.
Hello. Hello. So, good afternoon to everyone. So, I think it's already almost 2 plus now. So, it's a very heavy session right from this morning until now. So, we heard about a lot of security threat, a lot of hacking, a lot of how actually, like when you say, what are the steps you should find out that securities penetrating your what do you call that? Your system, your environment, what are things you should do. And then again, most important thing is that to ask for budget for security for next year. So, okay, My name is Alvin. I'm from MTech. Again, thanks a lot for this invitation for me to share with you about what MTech is doing overall. And then after that, I'll go into details on the talent side. Because you see nowadays, right, a lot of tech, a lot of emerging technology, but how about talent side? Who is taking care of talent side? Because everyone needs additional talent. Talent pool is one of the biggest gaps in the industry now. Not only in Malaysia, but it's worldwide. So later I'll share with you what we need to actually close down the gap in talent. Okay, just give you an overview of MTech, what MTech we are doing. So I think you heard about MTech, right? Okay, so this is the 4 key strategies we are helping on to develop the digital economy. Okay, the very first thing is that the drive investment. Definitely, we have to drive more investment into our company, right? So we will ask the company to set up, for instance, in the cybersecurity industry. We will actually encourage MNC bank to actually invest into Malaysia to set up the SOC, Security Operational Center SOC. Why we need those things? Because we need, first thing is that once we set up the SOC, job opportunity is there, the investment is there because they invested in our country, and then our people have the opportunity to learn from the environment SOC what are the skill set required. So these are very important for our country to grow the GDP. Then the second thing is that to build a local tech champion. So like Mr. Donnie, Dinesh, all those local companies, they are good, right? They can compete with MNC, those big companies, right? Because trust our local company. So, and that one of the objectives also to bring those companies to overseas market. When I say overseas, it's target for Southeast Asia. So we bring those companies to Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia. So we work closely with the local solution provider. We provide them a solution. Like for instance, in local solution provider, we have a very good SIBM solution, which tomorrow we are going to launch it in together with one of the universities in DPM Technology Park Malaysia. And the event is going to be launched by YBHG. So we have a very good partners, local partner. So we bring them to overseas. Then the third thing is that capitalizing digital innovation ecosystem. This point I'm going to go into detail in my next slides. And the fourth one is that propagating digital ecosystem. So we try to actually create more activity which related to digital economy, like e-usahawan and also e-residency. These are all the activity which is put in our 4 key strategy to develop the digital economy in Malaysia. So let's look at the catalyzing digital innovation. So today you see that there are a lot of emerging technology coming out to the market. Like for instance, IoT, just now, Mr. Oni said IoT devices. In Gartner's report saying that by 2020, it's going to have a 20 billion type of resources, a different type of devices going to connect it. It's scary because imagine those devices, right, are not protected. It can be very harmful to our network, to our attack our enterprise. So why IoT is a threat to this cybersecurity? Because first is that the devices itself is very hard to actually do patching. A lot of people using it because it's like very convenient, like IP camera, right? So anyone patch their IP camera. After you have configured and set up nicely, you can use your mobile phone to have a look at the home. I can look at my children playing, but anyone actually patch it. Those common one, you have seldom get the patch. It's one of the all. The second problem have in IoT device that the device itself, the storage is limited. You don't have a room actually to install and develop something inside the device. So this is in IoT industry. Then you have a cloud. Is cloud secure? Definitely secure. But why is it cybersecurity talking about the cloud? It's because of the data, the data components. Because we do have a very tight regulator and saying that the data cannot be transferred out of the nation. So how actually we can help? Like for instance, Last year, MDAC actually together the cloud security analysis, we come up a comparison between the cloud security best practices together with our TDPA in Malaysia. So we try to close the gap between the data side. So we managed to find out some of the gap, and now we are presenting to the industry about the gap. Because definitely, if you put the data or put your application into cloud, it's much more secure. But just that the policy, how actually we can close the gap. Then the third thing is talking about the BDA, big data. Again, you are going to gather a lot of information, a lot of data from different sources. So how are you going to ensure that those data are secure and protected? GDPA, one or more, right? PDPA, one or more. So these are the things which will include a lot of services from cybersecurity industry. E-commerce, everyone purchase online, right? So you purchase through Dirasmikan, Lazada, Awam, so you purchase online. So what are the risks? What are potential risks? So actually we have MDAC together with the industry. We have out some industry collaboration, some event together. For instance, recently with SSN, we have this industry collaboration to actually educate the consumer. There's a distrust certification, which means that someone registered with SSN together with the distrust certification. At the end, I can identify who is the owner for this merchant. So this is something to identify. So this is one of the security activity we try to actually share with the industry to promote with the agency. And then lastly is that talking about the fintech. So fintech is another new thing coming out in the industry. We're talking about sharing economy. So the fintech, industry 4.0, all the emerging technology, we require security. So that's why in MDAC we have this division called Enabling Ecosystem. I'm from this Enabling Ecosystem division. So under this division we have cybersecurity, we have cloud and data center, and also we have and cyber center. Okay. After introduction about MDAC, right? So I'd like to share with you some of the cases happened within this year. So the first case is that my first study is that based on 80K, the study is that saying that Asian study top 1,000 Asian company could lose up to USD 750 billion in the market, capitalizing with the potential cybersecurity risk. This is a report being published by 80K. If you want to have more detail about this report, I can share with you later about this report. And then again, there's another attack, attempt on cybersecurity attack to Bank Negara. Fortunately, we managed to detect the attack and to avoid money being transferred out. But there are two more cases, which is the attacker managed to go into the system and get some data out from the system, like for instance our data link in telco and also Singtel. Again, last week, another news which is impact, and most of us is the what we call that Facebook's data link income. So imagine, right? That day I read some articles saying that you can get the database, right? Just only RMB from that web. All our data, 50 billion data, you can get it in only 10 ringgit. So better change your password. Okay, let's look at the overall industry in cybersecurity before we go into our market in Asia. So overall, you can see that there are a lot of opportunity in cybersecurity. So if you do have your son, your anak saudara girl who is going to university, you can encourage them to go into cybersecurity courses. I know that cybersecurity is not sexy. Like engineer, like doctor, lawyer is much more sexy, but cybersecurity is a next trend which later I'll share with you about some statistics about the demand side, about the salary, It is very interesting figure. So let's move back to the market opportunity overall. So you can see that the worldwide, right, the cybersecurity opportunity is about 202 billion. This is worldwide figure. Okay? Why we achieve 202 billion? Because just now I shared with you all the emerging technology. The more things is going to connect, the more things is going to have an IP. There's always a risk. So you require more resources to taking care of all the devices. So in Asia Pacific, exclude Japan. So the cybersecurity market is around 52 billion, which is a very big amount. And Asian overall security services is 2.6 billion in 2021. When I say security services, right, which means that exclude hardware, purely on services. Services, which means that you have a training, you have a consultancy services, you have the SI services, and also the SOC services. So this type of services is around 2.6 billion. And in Malaysia, overall security services is around 632 million. Okay? Malaysia is one of the second largest market in Southeast Asia after Singapore. So continuously we have a growth from, you can see from the chart, continuous 5-year CAGR growth is around 22.28%. So you can see that this market is a growing market, and then the opportunity in cybersecurity is very huge because of the emerging technology. Okay, this is what I mentioned just now. About these statistics, some of the things which I'm going to share with you is that in Malaysia, right, according to IDC reports, by 2020, we require 10,000 of cybersecurity professional or practitioner to support the industry. Okay? As of today, we have around, this is the old figure, 2017, about 4.2. But as of today, we have around 5 to 6K of professional, but we still lack of another 5,000 of professional in the industry to support the industry. Then this creates a because everyone needs support with all the devices, all the emerging technology, the new technology coming in, so we need more resources to support the industry. And secondly is that 21% of the workforce, right, is between 1 to 4 years experience. What does it mean? 1 to 4 years experience, we have 20%. The rest is around 80%, right? They are 5 years and above. Okay? This group of people, they are going to maybe they are going to a management level, they are going to become retired and go to other industry, etc. So based on this 20%, to support our future cybersecurity environment, it creates a risk, a red alert to us, because we need stronger pipeline for this to support the cybersecurity industry. This is why cybersecurity demand. Salary, I skip that because I have another slide which talks about salary. Then zero unemployment. Again, this is based on the, you might say, how come zero unemployment cannot be? But this zero unemployment, definitely there's a criteria, which means that after you study your university, then you actually get some certification. Then with the certification, definitely you can get a job in cybersecurity industry. Because the demand and supply, the demand is a lot in cybersecurity industry. So, high level of competitions in top 10 talent pool. What does it mean? If you go to any headhunting company, any recruitment site, or any advertisement in the job market, right? You can see that out of 100 jobs, 10 of the jobs are related to cybersecurity. This shows that the demand in cybersecurity talent is very high. And 21% of the cybersecurity workforce are women. This is very good figure, which is very encouraging, because in US it's only 11%. But in Malaysia, we have 22% of workforce, 21% of workforce are women, which is a very good. And the last thing is that finance industry, right? The largest talent gap. You know why in finance industry there's largest talent gap? One of the reasons is that In financial industry or FSI industry, they are one of the most regulated industry. Right? So if you are in a senior position, normally senior position in cybersecurity, they are very techy. They like the challenges, they like people's challenges, but in the bank environment, it's hardly to have any attack in it because you are well protected. So they will feel bored, firstly. Secondly, they will feel that there's no challenges coming in. So they prefer to work in a better environment. So in this industry, they are facing a lot of problem to hire or to retain the resources. So this is the slide I'm talking about. In the ICT jobs comparison, you can see that cybersecurity is one of the highest paid. If you compare to Java programmer, web developer, database administrator. So this is a report. And with the experience from 4 to 7 years, right? You can get a salary about 7,000. This is the average salary from the industry. So this is a very good way of call that if you have any friends, sons or others out there who would like to join, don't know which course to decide, then you can actually encourage them to go into this industry. Because this industry is, again, it's now based on the statistic I show you, it's actually a growing industry and require a lot of resources. So I've shared with you what I'm doing, why talent is important, and then the potential of the talent industry. Then what can that do? Okay. So the first thing what we do is that we would like to create the talent, to create more talent. Okay. So we need to do the facility, the promote the market-driven cybersecurity innovation. Because the new technology, the new thing is coming to the industry, so we need to have more people who has the innovation. So we work together with ISACA and also PGI and our local university and government university to actually train and to guide them during the training of our program. So later I'll share with you what type of programs we are running to train the new talent. So two key things we are doing or outcome we are targeting. First is that innovation, because the challenges is coming new challenges is coming every day in the market. We need those people who has the idea, good idea, very good idea. We can train them so that they can continue to build their idea. It might not be a product. It might not be a product because if you ask someone to create a product, an antivirus product, so those antivirus products already in the market for so many years, how can you create a product which can actually to compete with those products? I'm talking about innovation of services. Okay. Then the next thing is that to manage the talent gap. Just now I shared with you that the gap is huge, like 5,000 versus 10,000 in 2020. The gap is huge. So we need to train the existing university students to equip them with the relevant knowledge, so that once they are out to the market, they can actually continue in this industry and not going to sell credit card promoter, whatever other industry, because they lost the interest, they don't know where they can go. So that's why it's very important to retain them after they go into this course. That's why we have this program. Okay. So this program actually we have we divided into two areas. The first area is talking about the existing already in the market. So those already in the market, right? We would like to actually further skill up the level. Because like for instance, on the incident response, SOC incident response, if something happened, what should you do? Right? So this is very important to the industry. So we work closely with PCI. PCI is one of the certified by GCHQ, the training material. So we actually use back the same material and train the local talent. When I say local talent, is that talent from bank, talent from regulator, talent from government, talent from CNII. So we train them on this. When that incident happen, what should they do? Okay, to skill up their level. Then definitely we train the trainer. Then we have another initiative, which is we work with the local partners. Because that's why I say we have a lot of good local partners. We have a very good solution. So we work with the local partner to put in their solution into the university environment. Now why we do this? Because we want to let the student have the opportunity to hands-on on the life working experience. Once we put the solution into the campus environment, student is the one who manage the system. Student is the one who face the challenges when there's an attack. But having said that, definitely we need partners to actually to support them if they don't know what's next step, what should we do. So in this real life experience or environment, students will get more things. Then once they're in the market, they know what to do. Okay. This is what we are doing with the local university. And the next one is the future-proof cybersecurity talent, which I'm going to share with you. Another slide is beginning of this year, we actually come out a tender. So what we do is that we understand the industry needs. Basically, we divided into 3 key components. The first component is that collaboration. Like today is a collaboration. But after the collaboration and everyone go back. If I have a question, I have something to ask, where should I go to, where should I ask, right? So we have this concept is that why not we choose a location, we name it as a hub, cybersecurity hub. So any event, any conversation, any workshop, we do it inside the hub. So to create a community, this is our idea to do the pilot. Okay, so we come up tender, we choose a partner, we come up this hub called Asia Cybersecurity Exchange. So inside the hub, what we are doing is that first thing is that empower the industry collaboration. So inside this hub, empower the industry collaboration, we have this 9611, we call 9611. What is mean by 9611 is that we are having 9 industry collaboration with other emerging technology partners. When I say other emerging technology partner, which means that I'm going to ask community from IoT, community from big data, community from e-commerce to come into my hub and join us. We will share with you what the security is, what the standard. Because normally a community, right, they work very closely within the community. They won't go to another community. This is the challenge in the industry. So we want all the community actually talk to each other. So we have this initiative to ask the other community to come over. Like for instance, I give an example, FinTech, we talk about GDPR. When you had someone speaker talk about GDPR, we also talk about PCI DSS. Because FinTech, we are talking about payment. If you do accept credit card transaction, definitely you require to have this PCI audit every year. So like IoT also, we have a session with IoT community. Then PIPCOM IoT chapter 8 come and share with us. UniKL's lecturer come and share with us some standards. So these are community things we can actually share, do some sharing. Because security is very important, but we cannot work alone. We need the industry expert also to hand in hand together. We know we can do the sharing. We know the challenges. We want to know the challenges from another community also. So we do the 9. So 9 so far we have done IoT, FinTech, e-commerce, and cloud. So I think this one, mid of this one, we're going to do another one. But we haven't decided the topic. Maybe it's on big data and AI. So the 9. Then we have another one is called 6. What is 6? Okay. 6 is target top level, all the CISO, all the C level from the industry. Why we target top level? Because top level, they have the vision, they know what is the direction, right? So you have to know, besides the working level, the technical support, others, you also want to tackle what is the high level, the top level, higher management, what is the thinking, what is the challenges they are facing. So we have the 6. So we have a CIO or CISO working group, we have specific topic, and this group will discuss about topic. But you ask me what is the end goal? End goal is that you are trying to find out what are the challenges from the industry, right? After that, you share with the service provider, solution provider. You also share with academia. Because academia, every year, final year students, they have projects. They try to solve an industry problem. This will be a very good feedback from the industry to tell the university. These are the problems being faced by the industry. Maybe you can base on this to come up with some idea. Then you can do some prototype. These are the things we are doing. So we are going to have our industry conference in November and also a hackathon. So we have this industry collaboration. That's why we try to create one common platform for everyone to actually share their idea, to share the challenges. If anything happens, they can sit down there and actually talk to each other. A common platform, industry collaboration. Then the second item is that innovation. Talking about innovation is that we feel that a lot of university students, they have very good idea. But after that, once they graduated, they go to a 9-to-5 job, then the ideas just disappear. It's quite wasted. Right? So we went to a lot of university, our premier tech university, we talked to the lecturer and we say, why not we give these good student opportunity for them to try whether they want to go become a startup or entrepreneur or not. Because we need more company. If they become an entrepreneur, then they can hire people, they can create jobs, right? So we want to actually to encourage those students, good idea to become on their own. So we come on this program. We go to university. We ask the student come and pitch their final year project. Then after that, we shortlist them. Once shortlisted, right, you give them training. What type of training you're going to give is that based on again 4 key things. First thing is that on the cybersecurity fundamental, definitely they need to know the fundamental. Second is that we are going to give them the training on business fundamental, which is a lot of technical people lack of business knowledge. We just finished the first cohort last week. So the student feedback is very good because those things they cannot learn. For instance, if I have a very good idea, how am I going to protect my idea, my IP? Because I'm going to share with someone else and present it, after that someone else they come up with a product. Then, right, it's unfair for people who come up with the idea. So university students have a lot of good ideas, they want to know also how actually I can protect my idea, the first thing. The second idea is that how the university present to do the pitching in front of the public. Because they have good idea, but they don't know how to present, what are the key points they need to mention, they need to say. And the pitching session normally is only 5 minutes. You don't have an opportunity to talk more than that. So it's very important to teach them to present their skill. Very important to teach them how to write a business proposal. If you want to start your own business, you have to get funding from VC and etc. You need to know how to actually do a business proposal. Besides your idea are good, right? So we teach them on business proposal, business idea, we teach them. After that, we also help to actually assign a mentor together with the student. Why we need to do that? Because the mentor can help the student to validate the idea. The idea is not a student think that hey, this is very good. I think it is a very good idea, so I want to continue to create this idea, become a product. Maybe it's just a belief. At the end market cannot be adopted. You want to do something, let's say you want to do something for the bank and you are not compliant with the bank's rules and regulations, then at the end, none of the bank can adopt the solution. So this thing is very important, right? So the mentor can guide him, can give him opinion, can actually share with him some of the pain and you go through. So mentor will assign to this student. And also, at the end of the program, right, we let the student have an opportunity to talk in front of regulator, big companies, VCs, and also academia. So he has the opportunity to actually to present his idea in front of all the cybersecurity experts. So these are the things we work closely with the university. We try to create the next generation of talent. because we want to waste those talent at the end, they just go into the job workforce. But those are unique ones. We have another program which is on the capacity which is big volume, right? So we work again the same thing we work with university. We want to let the student to have a hands-on type of experience before they go to the industry or before they go to internship program. Because most of the students say when they go to internship program, they are doing filing, they are doing documentation, they have no opportunity to touch on the system side. So it's quite a wasted because the internship program normally is like 3 to 6 months, right? You'll be wasted. So we target this group of students. Come and join us. We will train you on, equip you with the ISACA CSX fundamental together with the certification. So we enroll you with the training and also certification. Once you come up from the program, you can tell the company, I got ISACA CSX fundamental. I know the basic of cybersecurity. Okay. Besides that, we also train you on 3 industry needed type of skill set. Because we do have a workshop last year from the industry, we found out that the top 3 key skill set in cybersecurity are pen test, security admin, and also SOC admin. So we train them. So once they finish this program, they come up to the job industry or to go for the internship program, they are actually equipped with certain skill set or knowledge in cybersecurity. So they can actually start doing the work instead of doing documentation or filing. So these are the things we do it for the internship program. And hands up, so I'm going to run it very fast. And these are the other activities we are doing with the company like Axiata. We signed MOU with Axiata because we want Axiata to participate, to give us the challenges they are facing in this industry, especially telco, in our CISO roundtable, and also give opportunity for our students if their solution is able to fit into their environment, maybe give opportunity for them to do a pilot adoption. So at the end, this can be a product, can be sold to the market. If someone asks who used this product before, Axiata, then you have the confidence that this product is being used by Axiata. So these are the ISACA program and some of the program, our industry collaboration program. And this will be my last video.
Kes berlaku tapi tidak dilaporkan kepada mereka.
In today's digital world, people and machines are connected as never before. The ability to store and process vast quantities of data has transformed the way we live, work, and play. However, there is a dark side to smart technology. It can be misused for warfare, subversion, sabotage, and espionage. Based on recent cybersecurity study, top 1,000 ASEAN companies could lose $750 billion in market capitalization, and cybersecurity concerns could derail the regional digital innovation agenda, a central pillar for its success in the digital economy. But this effort requires people, and there are not enough to fill the current job vacancies. It is already estimated that there are 1 million unfilled security jobs. This will rise to 2 million within 2 years.
Over the last decade, we have actually observed a huge change of digital landscape. And with this, we do foresee that there's a huge demand for cybersecurity services. Not only for Malaysia, but the entire ASEAN region, we do expect to see double-digit growth. In order to fulfill the growing demand for cybersecurity professional services, talent is the most critical element that what we are looking at, particularly areas like incident response and digital forensic.
The BGI Cyber Academy was established to address this problem. Trainers bring their experience from frontline government, law enforcement, and commercial cybersecurity roles. The Security Operations Center incident responder programs are certified by GCHQ, the UK's National Technical Authority for Cybersecurity, and examined when appropriate.
In order to create a talent pool with relevant experience, it is necessary to create a sustainable talent program, especially in the era of digital economy.
MTech priority will be focusing on piloting cybersecurity critical talents development program to address the growing industry demand. The benefits of this program will enable high-income professional jobs. This will also help to develop an attractive investment criteria with experienced cybersecurity professionals. And lastly, it will be securing the journey of digital adoptions and realizing the national digital economy agenda.
Are you sufficiently prepared to protect your assets, investments, and interests against cyber threats? Train to be prepared at the PGI Cyber Academy.
Okay, I think we should go into Q&A section now. Thumbs up. So the first question is that how MTech approach the growth of digital economy in a holistic manner. Okay, remember the enabling ecosystem. Let's see the question. Okay, remember the slide I showed you that the enabling ecosystem. This is the what you call that the growth of digital economy with all the emerging technology. That's why MTech do have different division focused on big data, IoT, Industry 4.0, AI, and cybersecurity is cut across. So cybersecurity division cut across to work with all the division and find out that what is the challenges what are faced by the industry. So the very first problem faced by the industry is talent. Everyone facing talent. Because I give you an example, if a company is willing to invest in Malaysia, let's say next year, I tell you, Elvin, next month I'm going to come out to actually invest in Malaysia to set up an SOC. I need 50 SOC operator. Can you give me the 50 resources? I can't promise. Because now the industry is lack of well-connected talent. By the way, I do have some small gift. Who is the one to ask the questions?
The person who asked the question, come up to the stage, start.
Or you can pass the person later. Too shy, is it? Okay. Any other questions? I have 4 more. Okay, why not I ask questions? Name one of the strategies MTech is doing. This time there are 4 key strategies, right? Name one of it. I show you the slide. I show you the answer. Anyone? Dah bocor dah, soalan bocor dah. Tak ada nak jawab. Okay. Okay, in cybersecurity gap, right? By 2020, what is the figure you're looking at based on the prediction from IDC? Currently, we have a 5 to 6K of a cybersecurity practitioner. By 2020, we need how many actually cybersecurity practitioners? Thank you. How many percent of cybersecurity in Malaysia, right, are female? 5? Sabah. More than that. 25%. Is it true cybersecurity industry has zero unemployment rate? True. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thanks.
Thank you once again, Mr. Alvin, for sharing, especially regarding the much-needed talent pool in cybersecurity. Okay, so we have come to our last presenter of the day. Okay, a little bit of introduction for the speaker. Okay, our last speaker for today is an experienced professional with more than 10 years of information security and risk consulting in both enterprise security solutions as well as threat management services. He is currently based in Trend Micro Southeast Asia unit as a senior business manager and plays the role of taking care government-linked company GLC such as Petronas, KWAP, KWST, Telecom, TND, and Mampu, just to name a few. Okay, so without further ado, please welcome Mr. Lo Siang Chuan with his paper entitled Next Generation Security Strategies for Managing Internal and External Threat. Please welcome.
Good afternoon or good evening to ladies and gentlemen. This will be the last speaker, and I think everybody may be tired. So just bear with me. I will try my best to finish as soon as possible with fruitful information. So without further delay, today's my topic will be the next generation security strategy for managing internal and external threats. So before we go further, I would like to recall back the traditional perimeter defense or perimeter-based defense strategy used by maybe past 15 to 20 years. Is this still valid in nowadays situation, right? So back to 15 to 20 years ago, maybe people say I got firewall, I have the secure web gateway, and then I have my messaging gateway and antivirus. Basically, is that sufficient enough to protect my environment? Maybe during that time, this will be the requirement that is sufficient, right? Firewall is set a very clear cut of functionality. I block the bad guy in between my external network and my internal network. So it's a very clear cut. But two things that this perimeter-based security doesn't cater completely is insider threat and also external attack, and the lateral movement. I believe in the morning earlier on, maybe some of the speaker is already shared what is an insider threat, right? And it's very scary, the insider threat. People are asking why today we already implemented the technology in our organization, but still the threat or the hacker is still able to penetrate into our environment. So insider threat is one of the reason. The insider threat, it can be a human-based or it can be a malware-based, right? I think today spear phishing or the messaging is still the most effective way to penetrate an organization. Let me give you an example, right? Today, if let's say I have my holiday, I go to Bali, I stay in Ritz-Carlton, okay? And then I like social media like Facebook. So whenever I go, I check in, right? I'm in Bali, Ritz-Carlton. So after my holiday, ended, I back to KL. Then I received an email from Ritz-Carlton Bali. Say, Mr. Lau, thank you for the support for staying in Ritz-Carlton. Here attached is the lunch voucher for the complimentary token for you to stay at the hotel. So to me, this is very real because I just back from Bali holiday and I stay in Ritz-Carlton. So when I double click the attachment, the voucher, then that is the time that the embedded code executed, right? So people are asking me, you have antivirus, right, in the endpoint? How come the antivirus doesn't detect? Or you have a gateway, like messaging gateway, how come the messaging gateway doesn't detect, right? So that this is the technology or the involvement of the malware, how sophisticated they do their own research in order to penetrate the customer environment. And once the threat coming into your environment, there is a lateral movement. Lateral movement means the malware, it can be transferred or it can be moving from one segment to another segment. Just like we go to island hopping, right? We go to this island, after that we hop to another island. It's the same concept. The malware is trying to move within your environment horizontally. Okay? But our technology defense is at the edge, which is vertical. So when people or hacker from outside, they want to attack you, then your firewall is the first defense, right? They have to pass through your firewall. But when the malware threat already inside, and they're moving horizontally like east to west, right? Your parameter defense might not see what is the movement at the lower part of the network. So this is the insider threat and lateral movement. And external threat, the ability of outsider to compromise the machine, to get inside and create all sorts of network on the internet. So this is just now what I mentioned. They will try very hard to using a lot of technique like vulnerability. Vulnerability is one of the common tools and the most easier way for the hacker to use to actually try to penetrate in an organization. Why I say that? Because I know, as we know, every organization, they have a challenge in patching. Let's say today someone or some hacker discover a zero-day vulnerability in Windows, right? And the most challenging part is Microsoft said, I haven't have a security patch yet. I need to give 2 weeks or 1 month time for my team to deliver the security fix and deliver to the end user. So what are you going to do in this period, 14 days or 30 days time? It cannot be I plug my network, right? If let's say that vulnerability is happening to one of the critical servers, 24 times, right? So this is one scenario. Second scenario is when even though the vendor, they provide the security patches to you, and you want to apply the patches in the server, you need to reboot. So this is a dilemma that the IT administrator or the server administrator facing. If let's say that server has been 5 years, never reboot, running well, but unfortunately there's a vulnerability being found in that particular system. So when you apply the patches in that particular system, you need to reboot the server to take effect. What happens if you apply, you reboot the server hang, or you call, or the server calls blue screen due to a conflict of the application? What happens? So this is the dilemma that a lot of server administrators they're facing. Whether I don't patch, then when I get hit, I'm in trouble. But if I patch the server, I cannot reboot it, I also get into trouble. So this kind of situation, making the organization or making the hacker think that a lot of critical, either is an OS or application that organization is very hard to patch. Or they need more time to do testing to ensure that that particular patch after install does not cause blue screen, then only it will apply. Right? So there's a time. And the other thing that the parameter-based architecture, old time, that they cannot take care into the consideration is people moving to cloud and mobile. So when people moving to cloud, I can say that you bypass all your parameter depend. Right? Today I'm working outside. Right? I go to the Sabah, I hook to the Wi-Fi, or I'm using my data plan. I do my research at outside. So when I come back, you bypass all. I hook up to the network, that's it. Those malicious things that maybe I downloaded from outside, I will bring back to the organization. So that is the nowadays I would say that the parameter defense become borderless, very hard to maintain. So that's why, and this one is a professional threat economy, right? This one is the cyber criminal business. It become a business from the cyber criminal. So right now they run this business. They use the threat or the tools to attack a company, or they work with other alliances to work out more powerful kind of threat business in order to allow them to penetrate into the end user environment. And based on I just do a Google rough research, right? The yearly revenue of the cyber criminal is almost hit $1 trillion a year. So doing cyber criminal business is better than you selling drugs like those mafia business, right? So this is some of the transaction you can see in the underground economy. So right now for people or for hackers to run a bad activity, right? They doesn't need to develop the malware by themselves. They can actually go to the online, the underground economy to buy. For example, VPN, right? How much is the money cost? They want to buy a botnet army, right? Today, I'm running a business. My competitor is doing well. I just I just hired 10,000 bot machine and launched targeted attack to that particular portal to cause the traffic. Their business cannot be continued because of this bot army traffic. So all these malicious activity like vulnerability can be buy online easily, right? And then they also have the capability to test this particular new virus because they are so rich. They can buy all antivirus vendor software set up in their lab. So whenever they create a virus file, they just do their own QA for all the brand antivirus. No one detected. It's a new variant. So I released to the market. That's why today endpoint solution, or we call it the signature base, is facing a very tight challenge in handling those kind of attack. So our technology need to be improved also. So this one is a botnet pricing, right? So you can buy either monthly or one-time business. So look at their business structure, right? This one is exploit kit, monthly 38. If you want buy one time, it's 120,000. So all this is available in the underground economy. So why I say that they trade as a business? As you can see, this is the first one, the victim and the attacker. But behind the scene, the attacker, they are working a lot of people with a specialized skill in the dark side. And then they come back with the attack. So their money is actually channeled out. Not only one person, but they divided into multiple departments, I would say. So that's why they are, the dark side or the bad guy, they are actually form a business like what we does, right? The organization is big. And also, today, a lot of hackers, they also try to find a new way to penetrate into the customer environment. Just like what Erwin mentioned, by 2020, they got 26 billion of devices to hook up to the internet, the IoT, Internet of Things. So this one is provided by Gartner. So that's why with the IoT, some more the perimeter-based defense become more challenging. Besides, they have to look after the cloud and the mobility. So this is some of the vulnerable IoT event happened recently. This one is on the router side. And this one is also a router being compromised to do a crypto jacking campaign. That means they use the server resource to do mining of the cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, right? And even more serious, looking into the hotel smart key system, the US baby monitor being hacked, a Jeep, which is a car, even the HID door controller, smart city, and also power plant in Ukraine. So this is all is the IoT cases. In terms of the industrial control center, right? You can see that this is the industrial facility is caused by the virus called Stuxnet. It's a worm. And water treatment plant, railway traffic control system, car factory, steel plant, and the chemical plant. So that means the IoT threat is really happening. Those bad guys, they are actually want to find a new way via the IoT to actually penetrate the customer environment. Like just now what Awam mentioned also. Whoever go and patch your CCTV, after you implement already, right? Nobody cares, it's just running as usual. Even though the firmware got some bugs, nobody cares to go and patch it, right? So with the infra change from the physical server until to the cloud and then the IoT. So in terms of security, we need to rethink the security architecture. How are we going to redefine our security to better this kind of infra changes? So today the parameter-based defense is actually not enough, like, with the information that we share, right? We can't protect what you can't see, right? And then you need a shift. We need to shift to our new security paradigm. So let's take a look on those possible entry from the threat vector. So they can come from email, they can come from web, they can come from the USB, right? USB is maybe more harder to control because people need this USB for their daily operation, right? So you need to scan the USB, a big challenge for company. And then vulnerability also a big challenge for the company to keep up the patching. So based on this one, we need to rethink the security architecture. Like today, we still believe that the security will still need to be a multi-layer approach. And then with the multi-layer approach, we need to invent more technique inside the scanning technology. And number third, also the AI, artificial intelligence and the machine learning technology will be introduced into the technology. And the last one will be the integration and correlation. That means automation to achieve the maximum security protection. So let me share one more time. So as I mentioned, the layering security approach is still practicing. Okay. So from the server side, server which will be the inner component in our organization or data center. So the defend in depth strategy is like an onion kind of architecture. So the inner data which consists of server will be more important. It's either cloud or either virtual or either it's physical. So the second layer is on the network side. So today network layer we need some mechanism to be able to allow us to see the traffic, not only the vertical traffic, but we need to know that the horizontal, which is the east-west, meaning that when the insider threat moving around your network, we have the visibility, right? If you don't have the visibility, you can't do anything about it. And the last layer will be the user. User, besides rely on the technology that installed on the PC, we need to do also user awareness to aware the user how to they can more knowledgeable on handling the email, digital email, right? some of the practices. So in terms of technique, so this is our belief. We divide our technique into a 4 layer. We still leverage on the signature-based technology. I mean, this is 100% accurate. Because today this malware come into my environment, and this is a known malware. Automatically, my parameter defend either gateway or firewall or IPS will be blocked because it's really known. But if let's say on the signature base, you fail to detect, right, then you go to another layer, which is the machine learning pre-execution technology kicks in. Pre-execution technology on the machine learning, it actually takes care of the file base, the file structure, right? Once he able to detect that particular file structure or features, they actually will block it, take the action. If this layer still not able to detect the threat, then you will come to the next layer, which is the behavior analysis. The behavior analysis is more to the file analysis on their behavior, on the whether are they doing any malicious kind of activity, like for example, ransomware. Today, ransomware, when they attack infected to your machine, right? Basically, they will start to encrypt the file in your computer. So, before the encryption process starts, right, the engine detected, it will actually do a backup for that particular file. After the first file, second file, and third file, it triggers the score, and then once it identifies this is an unauthorized and malicious kind of encryption, it will actually terminate this particular program, and you restore back the file that we already pick up. So this is the behavioral analysis kind of technology. So if until this stage, still not able to identify, then the last stage we will go to sandbox. Right? Sandbox is a virtual server whereby we actually throw the sample file into this particular virtual machine. But hacker also very smart. They know now a lot of vendors they have sandbox. So the hacker try to do an anti-evasion. What do I mean by anti-evasion? Anti-evasion is a technique that when this particular file, a payload, they drop into a server or the infected machine, then it has the ability to track, is this a human workable machine or is it a virtual machine? So we, as a vendor, we also try to think what hacker is thinking. So we try to use some program or we do some anti-evasion technique, like I do the simulation of clock, I do some mouse movement, I do a screensaver in my machine. So by doing this, maybe I can trick back the hacker, say, hey, this is a human workable machine, it's not a sandbox. So when the payload is detected, this is a real human workable machine, then only he will execute the payload. Once the payload execute, maybe he will call back to the CNC, they will actually connect to that certain website or redirect to certain website to download certain more payload into the machine, and then they start all the bad activity in the machine. So that is the sandboxing kind of technology. So with the multi-layer approach, with multiple techniques, then we improve the security. And I believe that the business email compromise, BEC attack, is quite popular these 2 years. This is the event that the bad guy, they actually spoof a C-level email, mainly the CEO, the CFO, and then they send an email to them, say, please wire money to this particular account with some urgency kind of a message. So this event causes 12 billion worth of loss globally, last 2 years. And each of the cases, the average losses is 159,000 US dollars. Okay? And the cases is increases 136%. So how are we going to identify this kind of busy email? Okay? So even with the training, with the user awareness, like us, we are IT savvy people, we also very hard to differentiate these two emails, which one is real which one is fake. By looking, counting at the word, right? Both email got 37 words, right? And the shell key is exactly the same. But is this a genuine email? We don't know. Okay? So normally the BEC email, they will have few behavior, right? Like need same day payment, involve financial, make this morning, and if you are available to handle this now, urgency, call for action, right? Need to solve it by today, urgency, right? Available to handle this now is call for action. So there are certain behavior in this particular email that we can identify. So with our technology, we are able to identify the hacker behavior, character. Like for example, this email is come from insecure source, and then you can see the misspelling, company, right? A to become O, and then the last one is the email from the CEO is actually go to the gmail.com, right? So these are the things that we are looking at. Okay, financial implication, call for action, urgency. So we invented the new AI base to actually look into this kind of attack. So besides using the expert rules and the machine learning, we introduced the first AI kind of technique we call writing style DNA to actually study each of the individual. We are talking to those high level people like C-level, CEO, COO, CFO, CIO kind of people, and they will study their writing skill. Every people have different writing skill, right? This one is happened in our internal organization. Our CEO Eva, she received an email, BEC attack. By using this kind of technique, it able to detect this is a BEC email, right? Because my CEO never write an email saying that please do it right away. She never using this word. It's either he say please do it now, please do it immediately. So from the writing skill, we are able to identify this particular email is actually coming from a real CEO or real C-level. So this is another enhancement on the email technology which handling this kind of BEC attack. Okay, you can see 4 different people, they have 4 different type of writing skill. So how it works is when we selected those high profile individual email to be analyzed by this writing style DNA, you will actually go to this particular C-level profile, the email. Let's say they select 500 or 400 email to actually study, right? How is the writing skill of this particular individual, and then they will come up with the AI. Alright, the last one will be the integration and correlation. This one is there's no right and wrong strategy. Some people they still believe in multi-vendor approach. That means in the gateway, maybe firewall I use brand A, the network IPS I use brand B, my email server I use brand C, my endpoint I use brand D. So one fail, I have another one to cover each other. So it's a multi-vendor approach. So the pro and cons for this kind of strategy is you need to have a lot of maybe manpower or resources to taking care of each of the different solutions. And the second thing is when things happen, right? We need to do fast response. But because you have multi-vendor, right? Everybody, and vendor A will say, wait, I already analyzed, this is not my problem. You look for vendor B. Vendor B will look for vendor C. Vendor C will look for vendor D. And vendor D come back to customer, I don't know. So customer also blink, right? So one single vendor or consolidation of the solution, the advantage is because all the solution from the top and until to the endpoint is from one single vendor. So each of the solutions that we deploy at each of the layer, from gateway to email server to endpoint, is actually can talk together because of from one single source. So no matter what, when the first track coming from email and the detection is being taken, so this particular IOC or this particular track object, right, we develop an actionable item, and then it can share to all the layers. So in the next event, when the same track coming from, let's say, USB, the actionable item is already there. So this is a fast response compared to single vendor approach and multi-vendor approach. So it depends on the company how they want to place their strategy. Either you want to consolidate everything, and for you, in one single glass, you can see a lot of the correlation, or you want to follow back the multi-vendor approach, whereby one field, the other one can cover, right? So this is one of the examples when the track coming from parameter, it reach a firewall, right? Okay. So first track coming in, you go to the sandbox, and the sandbox will do analysis, and they push to the threat intelligence center. After that, the threat intelligence center, he get the shell key or a suspicious object we call custom signature on the fly. It will share to all the layers, from desktop to server to gateway to messaging gateway or to IPS. So all automated. This is one single vendor approach, whereby you can have fast response on a certain event when it happens. And also you can see from they give you a full network visibility. Where is the patient zero for this particular event? Here you can see. This Sarah is the first infection. He get the first infection, and this suspicious payload, suspicious communication, and this is a compromised account. So we give you the full visibility in the network layer. So when you can see this, you know what to do. If you can't see this, you can't do anything. Okay? So this one is on the network layer. What about in the endpoint? That particular host. If let's say I'm using USB, I plug it into this particular machine, and the malware bypass the antivirus, and it infected. So this is the EDR. You open the email, Outlook. In the Outlook, there's an attachment. It's an Acrobat file. You open it. From where? You actually create two more files. Right? And then this file connect to CNC. So this one is on the host base. So the analysis, one is on the network side, one is on happen on the endpoint side or the host side. We have to know what happened in that. Because today malware is very smart. Just like Mission Impossible, when I drop something to the payload, right? And then my payload, after I execute all these files, I created different files, and then the mother payload that will self-expose. So for you, it's very hard to trace, right? So this is a EDR at the endpoint side. And for visibility by user, you can see this particular event is actually can track by the user from time to time, right? So this guy, when we play back the data, right, this is the first person to get the infection. And then from this person, we want to know who else beside Mark Hong get the infection. So we play the retro scan. He will actually give you the information beside Mark Hong who else get infected. So with this information, these are the group of people we will immediately need to take action, right? So even though I share with all of you this kind of different technique layering approach, but there's still no silver bullet in the security, because end of the day, it's still back to the compliance, right? People, technology, and process. Right? So this will be my last slide. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Mr. Long. Okay, I believe we have one question for you for our cyber session.
Okay, first question, does Trend Micro or any AV vendor have capability to detect email fraud written in local language like Bahasa Malaysia? Okay, this one, we have the custom sandbox, right? Just now I shared there is a custom sandbox technology in our solution. What I mean by custom sandbox, compared to other friendly competitor, they also provide sandboxing. It's a generic. Custom sandboxing, we allow customer to customize the OS. We allow customer to customize their inbuilt application into that particular virtual server. And we not only supported English, we support Bahasa Malaysia, we support Portuguese, we support multiple of international language. Because we know that there's an event happen, a targeted event happen in Portugal. That particular thread is written in Portuguese. That's why we need to support multiple language in order for us to pick up the targeted attack. Okay, second question, how do you tackle the perennial conspiracy theory that many malware are actually produced by cyber security company themselves? Can someone who asking this question, can you elaborate a little bit more? I don't want to give a wrong answer. Yeah.
I don't know how to elaborate, but this is what I hear social media people talking about it. So I don't have any specific examples. Perhaps you can give a general comment.
Do you mean that, is your question mean that antivirus company is about to?
Yes, that's one interpretation.
Okay, actually this is not a common question. I receive a lot of this kind of question from my past 10 years. A lot of people say antivirus company is the one who create the new virus, release the market, and then later on we come up with an antidote to solve the problem. Actually, by looking into the steady state of the cyber criminal revenue and their speed, right, we have no time to write our own virus. Because in order for us to combat the bad guy, we really exhausted. They are always ahead of us. What we try to do is, we try to minimize the impact. We cannot say we give you 100% protection. There's no way we can give you 100% protection. So to answer your question straight, we don't write virus. Thank you. Good question.
Okay.
No more question? Then I will end my session.
Okay, let's continue with our next session, which is the Kahoot session by Trend Micro. So we have the screen displayed to have our game table. Everyone may log into kahoot.it. This will be the last quiz for today. believe we can start with this quiz. Congratulations to the winners. Okay, you may receive your prizes at the counter. Okay. So, continuing with our program today, I would like to welcome once again Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Haji Minggu to come up to the stage to give the token of appreciation to our guest speakers for today. Okay. So, I'd like to call upon our four speakers. Okay. First of all, Mr. Ganesh. Next, Mr. Rodney. Mr. Alvin. And lastly, Mr. Lloyd himself. Thank you, Doctor. As a bonus for everyone who have stayed with us up until now, okay, we have another bonus round or lucky draw. Okay, we have a total of, I think, 23 prizes to be won. So, okay, just step back and we'll do a random number generation for selecting the winners for our lucky draw. Okay.